start again. It's a Redskin.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we have a little bit of a quick update in relation to the Chicago Bulls. A couple of interesting things have come out over the course of a couple of hours that I would like to bring to your attention. Heading into a very busy free agency period for the Chicago Bulls. We may be doing a lot of business. We may not do much at all, but there is a couple of things beforehand that we will need to discuss further on that might impact free agency in the slightest of ways. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, the news that we'll bring to you right now, as well as the free agency period, and where do you think the Chicago Bulls are going to go in relation to that free agency period. So, the first thing we do need to discuss is Troy Brown Jr. That will not be getting a qualifying offer from the Chicago Bulls, making him an unrestricted free agent, and he's free to do whatever he likes in relation to signing on to other NBA teams. Now, I'm fairly certain there will be a team that will pick him up, whether it's a rebuilding team that sees a lot of development they could put into him. He's still a very, very young player, has done some good things, and is very hardworking. I'm very sure that there will be a team out there that is willing to give a chance to Troy Brown Jr., so I'm assuming he's not going to be coming back to the Chicago Bulls. I guess maybe we could bring him back on a cheaper deal now because his qualifying offer was very, very expensive. Maybe if we want to bring him back, I think we can. I'm not actually sure of that rule. I don't know. But let's just say there's a very high chance he will not be returning for the Chicago Bulls. And this news kind of makes it to an even higher extent. So good luck to Troy Brown Jr., whatever future destination he decides to go to. It's going to be a very interesting time. And all I can say is, I hope a team picks him up. I really like Troy Brown Jr. I think we all kind of knew the situation beforehand. And I thought between Derrick Jones Jr. and Troy Brown Jr., it was actually Troy Brown that was most likely to return and Derrick Jones Jr. would leave. But there was also a high possibility that both of them could leave. And it looks like that's actually going to be the case. Again, we will have to wait and see down the line about Derrick Jones Jr. But good luck to Troy Brown Jr. Hopefully a team can end up picking him up, developing him like a couple of teams have failed to do now, and see where he goes from there. Is he going to be a good role player, or is he going to fall his way out to the league? We'll wait and see. The next news I want to talk about is Coby White. Of course, if you have the Bleacher Report app, I'm sure many of you guys would have seen this already. The Lakers are very interested in making Coby White a target. Look, in all fairness to the Los Angeles Lakers, I'm sure there could be some sort of deal we could work out with them. Coby White is not an expensive player. He's on an expiring deal. I'm sure for the Lakers, if this player, Coby White, works for them, then they can sign him on a little bit for a longer term deal. Obviously, if they don't work for the Lakers are the type of team that will just get rid of you. So very, very interesting to see what will happen in relation to that. I'm going to quickly look up a lot of the Lakers roster because I honestly, like, just looking on the basis of it, I don't actually see a lot of players that I would actually like on this team. No disrespect to the Los Angeles Lakers roster, but I do feel like a lot of them are relatively old, maybe not necessarily the best options available and stuff like that. I mean, it's an interesting bunch. I mean, a lot of the players that I probably would want from that Lakers team in relation to trading Coby White, they probably wouldn't give up. Maybe a Carmelo. I don't know. I think Carmelo might be a little bit past his time here. In terms of getting a shooter, he might be a better option. A lot of people will say Taylor and Horton-Tucker. Not the greatest year. I think, obviously, a different position, that might help. But, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what the Lakers can offer us that I would really like in relation to Coby White. I'm sure Coby White's on the trade block, and maybe the Lakers can make a deal that's worth our while. I'll support any player that comes into the Chicago Bulls team in a trade for Coby White, whether I think it's a good trade or a bad trade. But ultimately, I hope there are other teams available out there that would be willing to make a trade with Coby White. Or if we keep Coby White, I hope he has a much more successful season next year. Overall, I don't really know what's going to happen to Coby White, but it's interesting to know that at least there's one team that's been publicly rumored to be interested in Coby White. There have been a few that's been privately rumored, and there's a lot of articles saying that he's on the trade block, but I think this is the first team that I've really seen publicly interested in Coby White per rumors. So we'll wait and see what they offer. Wait and see if we accept anything that they offer. A lot of people are saying Coby White's not even worth that much. Some saying he's only worth a second-round pick. Some saying worth a late first-round pick and stuff like that. The draft is gone, so I hope we wouldn't trade for a draft pick now when we need roster spots for this season. But overall, we'll just have to wait and see what we do. AK is the head of the table right now for the Chicago Bulls. He's the boss, and whatever he says goes, and we'll see what the outcome will be. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. That's about it in terms of the news right now. Obviously, there will be more news down the line. I won't be able to keep up with everything, most likely, if it just keeps going on through the day. But hopefully, by the time free agency starts, we'll be on the clock, ready to make a bunch of videos and be very excited about the future of our team. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.